Today, I'm going to make an automation and deploy it to Trigger.dev. The automation is going to essentially monitor my stock portfolio using the Financial Datasets API and PumaDB to act as the database. I'm going to start inside of Conductor in a brand new workspace. You can see I've asked it to list all the tables I have in PumaDB to just make sure that I'm actually connected. And you can see my tables are all here. If you're using PumaDB for the first time, it's super simple to install and get connected. All you've got to do is find your provider link and copy it, then come into your workspace and paste it in the terminal or in your chat, and it's going to ask you to go through the authentication. I've already done that, so I'm not going to do it here. Next, I know that I'm going to work with Trigger.dev, so I'm going to come into this new project and copy the project path and have that on standby to use inside of my prompt. I'm also going to grab the API key from Financial Datasets and load that into my project settings inside of Conductor as well. Okay, so I've come up with my prompt to help it create a goal, and I have put Conductor inside of plan mode because it should just be coming up with a goal, and I don't want it to initialize the goal without me first actually approving it. So essentially, I've just asked it for a stock portfolio automation that's hosted on Trigger.dev and has access to the PumaDB.ai MCP, as well as the Financial Datasets API. I'm going to have a portfolio table, which includes the stocks you have in your portfolio, as well as the quantity of shares, as well as a portfolio value table, which is going to include the total value of your portfolio and whether it's up or down based on the previous day. And I've essentially given it the project ID of Trigger.dev and told it it's got access to the Financial Datasets API key in its settings. The plan's now complete after a bit of an evaluation, and it all looks kind of as expected. So it's identifying how to work with the PumaDB tables, the implementation plan, and how to test it. So we can just approve it and it's going to start making the project. Okay, so it completed the task and asked us to fill out the .env file. So we did already give it the Financial Dataset API key, but we need to give it our trigger secret key and connect a PumaDB API key because it's going to actually use the API versus the MCP. So we can create an API key via the instructions on the install page and give it back to our project. Same with the Trigger.dev secret key. It's inside of the development environment under API key, and when you inevitably switch to production, you'll need to run this production secret key instead. So we've got the env up to date, so we can actually test to see that this all works. And it looks like it loads the env and first of all creates a portfolio table inside of PumaDB with 3 different stock tickers. It creates a 2-day backfill. Weirdly, it's selected dates from 2024, but sometimes the AIs don't know what day it is based on their training data. But this could have also been done based on its guess of what 2 trading days are that would definitely work. So we've also got a new table called portfolio values with 2 rows based on the backfill data there. And if we check out our Trigger.dev environment, we can see that it does have that backfill portfolio values task, as well as our daily portfolio valuation schedule, which is running at 6 o'clock New York time, which is great. And if we come over to ChatGPT, we can check to see that the PumaDB tables were created and filled correctly. So I'm going to ask it for the portfolio and portfolio values from my PumaDB setup. So ChatGPT, which I have connected to PumaDB, is going to come in and find those 2 tables that we just mentioned. We can see it's got the old date, but that will be overwritten with the next actual scheduled API call for the correct data. And that's the automation. It's going to sit inside of Trigger.dev and it's going to run every day. And what I think is really cool is because we have got the data sitting inside of PumaDB, we can actually access this wherever we need, whether that's inside of ChatGPT or Claude or Codex, Claude Code, wherever it is. I've now got access to these 2 tables to get the information I want or even edit it. So I could ask ChatGPT to update the original portfolio to include 10 shares of Amazon. It's going to update this table here, and next time the automation runs, it's going to include the new ticker that we just added. So using ChatGPT and PumaDB together, I'm able to have a natural language interface to kind of this backend database of my automation. And while I'm using this for stocks, you could use this for a large variety of automations that you're running. So if you're running content automations, email outreach, go-to-market, sales, anything like that, you can put your data inside of PumaDB and set up a connecting automation. And as your data changes, your automation will stay up to date based on the most recent data you're wanting to work with. If there's an automation you want me to make, drop it below in the comment and I'll feature that in my next video. Thanks.